Hi, and welcome to the players meeting for Daywalker Doubles 2020. I'm Scott Sprout. I'll be your TD for today. As far as today is concerned, I want to thank you for coming out today. I know that you have lots of different options, lots of different choices for your disc golf events, so we appreciate you coming out and spending the day with us at Independence Lake in Whitmore Lake, Michigan for our doubles event today. It is an XC tier, the X obviously because this is a little bit different than your traditional C tier events. Today you'll be playing best shot doubles. Best shot meaning you pick which of your two drives you want to play from, which two of your up shots. Hopefully, you make your putts. You don't have to decide which putt you want to take because you both missed or whatever. So we want to make sure that you completely understand that. So it is best shot doubles. Since it is a PDGA sanctioned event, all PDGA rules will be in effect. There is no 2-meter rule that's going to be applied today. If there are questions about things out on the course, I would encourage you to throw a provisional shot. If you and your group cannot decide what the proper play is, play both. Play it as a provisional. We can come back when you come back after your round, discuss that with me, the TD, to help make the appropriate decision on what's taken place. If there are any lost discs, please try to stick to the 3-minute timeline in terms of searching for the disc. Now that does include everyone on the card needs to be looking. So with that in mind, I would encourage you to send a spotter to look for discs. Sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth between screens here. I would encourage you to send a spotter to help on some of those blind tee shots or shots where there is some really tall grass. There is some tall grass that's out there. So please send a spotter just to kind of help speed that process along. And obviously mark where you think, if you're the spotter that is, mark where you think the disc went in. There are a couple things in play today. There will be some additional signage out on the course to help you. There are a couple tricky spots with the layouts that we're using, but there is a map, which I'll get to in just a moment. There will be some additional signage out there that helps you to navigate those areas. But hopefully we won't have any issues with this map that I'm going to provide you, as well as things being on a physical scorecard if you decide to take it. And with digital scoring, which I'll get to again in just a moment. All right, so as for the map, I have uploaded to Disc Golf Scene a map of the course with the two layouts. So I want to thank Bo Fought for helping with that. He's the one who initially designed this. There has been a couple small changes which are reflected on this new map. In particular, down here, hole 16 has undergone a minor revision. As well as over here on X5, as well as a little bit on X4. But those are the only three really minor revisions. It doesn't really affect the holes too much, but those are reflected on this map here. So please use this as a reference. If you're using a physical scorecard today, those are listed on there as well. So please pay attention to which hole you should be playing, as well as which hole you should be teeing off on. Okay, and again, there are a couple tricky spots. We're going to try to help you with that signage. Okay. As far as 50-50, the 50-50 will be out there all day, so please do not pick that up unless, of course, you're moving it closer to the pin. That will be up there all day for your competitors. You'll get one crack at it on each of the layouts that you're playing at our events. So please leave that out there all day long. And then any other CTPs that may be out there, so if we decide to donate some CTPs to different divisions, please make sure you check the CTP flag if they are out there. Make sure that it does apply to the division in which you are playing. We would hate to have those moved for a division that obviously is not taking advantage of that particular CTP. Okay. As far as digital scoring, we are going to try to implement that as part of dealing with COVID, as well as making it easier on everyone involved, myself, as well as you, the players, because you can track how you're doing. You can track how the field that you're playing in is doing as well. Okay, so we are going to utilize that. So I would like to encourage you to go to pdga.com/scores to access that. You will be given a access code when you check in tomorrow morning or when you show up tomorrow morning that will allow you to access that and take a look and score your round. Okay, so from what I've been told, I've talked with Pete Christ, who's working for the PDGA. He's also the gentleman responsible for Disc Golf Scene. A workaround for the doubles event. Typically, the online scoring is an individual thing. Since you are playing with a partner, you both should enter the same score. So, for instance, if Team A scores a 3 on the hole, both players should be marked as scoring a 3. Okay, so on the scorecard, both players should be listed. Both players would receive the same score. If Team B scores a 4, both players on that scorecard should also be recorded as a 4. Okay, that he told me that was a workaround. They are working on some other things to update and improve the tournament experience for players. That is one workaround that he shared with me. Okay. One other thing with the digital scorecard, that it is considered final and turned in once you hit submit. So please double check with your card mates to make sure that the scores. I would also encourage that a paper copy be held just as a backup, as well as for any areas where you might not necessarily have service or be able to turn at the end. Paper is a great backup. Obviously, with COVID, if you take certain precautions into place or into mind when you're scoring, if you can trust one person with a card and so forth, that would be great, as long as you don't pass that around. Hand sanitizer, which we will have for you out on the course at check-in, as well as some water, which is another thing we're going to provide for you, is we're going to provide some water out on the course for you. Also with some safety procedures in place for those as well. Okay, hand sanitizer, barriers, latex gloves, and so forth. Those are things that we're planning on offering as you as well. All right. As far as out of bounds, there are just a few areas at Independence Lake that come into play as far as out of bounds. Some of that includes water, although it's been pretty dry. I know that we're supposed to get a little bit of rain on Friday, at least that's in the forecast. So some of those areas might have to wait until Saturday morning. They will be listed for you on the scorecard. So for instance, the ponds near hole 6 and hole 9, that comes into play, although that's probably pretty low based on the fact that it's been so dry here. On roads comes into play. Again, that's really tough to get to. You got to really have some pretty nasty tree kicks to get over there. So you might not necessarily encounter that, but there are a couple areas where there's fences in a couple ponds. So if you're completely over a fence or if you happen to slide underneath a fence, completely underneath that fence line, that would be considered OB. Surrounded by water would be considered OB, but again, that's only going to come into a few areas, and hopefully we will have lines painted for you for those particular areas that come into play. All right. As far as a few last things, I have my notes over here, apologize. We will be trying to use Disc Golf Scene as much as possible for communication. So things like, all cards are in, second round tee times and things like that. We'll try to make the best use of online scoring for you, the players, as well as hopefully, if all goes well, for round 2, we can actually assign you a hole to start on. If all goes well, with making sure that we get all the scores in, they're certified, they're verified, and everything like that. We will do our very, very best to assign you a hole so you know exactly, and everything's conveyed digitally for you. All right. The park does have some guidelines, as well as just general, really smart guidelines dealing with COVID and so forth. I want to remind all of you to respect each other's spacing. So the park is asking for social distancing, at least 6 feet distance between each other. No touching of disc golf equipment. That includes bags, disc golf, discs, as well as other things that are out there. They've put out a lot of different trash cans. I was told that there's trash can pretty much on every hole. So please try to make use of those as well. If you're throwing anything away, please make sure it ends up in the trash can, not just simply tossing it on the ground near a tee pad. And then lastly, there's a porta potty between make sure I get this right, hole 7 and 8. There's also a porta potty at the tournament check-in as well, or tournament, kind of where we will be set up in the morning. Okay. One thing I want to share with you, I did ask the park about food options. They shared a few different things with me. So hopefully on your screen right now, you see that there's a menu. This is their limited menu from the Beach Center, not the Blue Heron Bay. So the Beach Center is located at the back of the park. It's about a 3/4 of a mile drive, perhaps, maybe less, from the disc golf course. If you continue past the disc golf course, you would find the Beach Center in the back. They have this menu that you'll see on the screen here, limited menu. They have hot dogs, pretzels, peanut butter and jelly. They have some drinks. They have ice cream, bottled soda. I believe they also have bottled water. Yep, Aquafina's down there. So they have some bottled drinks for you, cold drinks, which will be great because it will be warm. So those are out there for you as well. In addition to that, they have Domino's, Hungry Howie's, and Marco's, all with very close distance or proximity to the course. What they have told me is that if you call about 30 minutes before your end of your round, they should have that food there for you, about 30 to 45 minutes. So with about, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 holes left, assuming that you're not backed up, okay, that might be a good time to start, thinking about making that phone call. If you want pizza, of course, you're certainly welcome to bring your own lunch as well. All right. So on the topic of lunch, we will have a 45-minute break between the end of round 1 and the start of round 2. That gives everyone an ample time to sit down, get a little something to eat, rehydrate, get off your feet for a little bit before you head back out. All right, so a 45-minute break from last card in. Okay, so if you happen to be the first card in, you're going to have a little bit longer time. If you're the last card in, we want to make sure that we give you that 45-minute break that you deserve. Okay, so as far as starting the round, there will be a 2-minute air horn blast or car honking if my air horn somehow manage to malfunction. There will be a two blast. And keep in mind that we are starting our round. Round one is scheduled to tee off at 9:45. You have between 8:15 and 9:30 to get checked in. Okay, and that's on the Disc Golf Scene page. All right, so two air horn or two sound blast will indicate that 2 minutes. You need to stop warming up. Disc need to remain motion or still, I suppose. So 2 horn blast will indicate that you have 2 minutes. One solid blast that follows will indicate that tee time is here, that you're welcome to tee off. But also with those blasts, for the 2-minute blast, if you can pass along or yell 2 minutes to pass it along to the next hole, as well as when we actually tee off, after that solid blast, I will be yelling tee off. Please pass that along as well. All right. In the event of inclement weather, such as lightning in the area, so forth, there'll be a 3-horn blast indicating that there is severe weather in the area and that you should return to safe areas, ideally coming back to where we are set up in the morning. Okay. All right. Please reach out to me if there's any questions. You're more than welcome to message me here on the Disc Golf Scene. I believe I've covered everything that I have in my notes here. As far as the event tomorrow, we want to thank you again for sharing your day with us and coming out to play. We greatly appreciate your support, and we certainly welcome any questions, anything that you're wondering about, and so forth for tomorrow. So thank you again for coming out, and we will see you in the morning. And we want to wish all of you a very great tournament. So thank you very much.